He's shy, Coach.
And these are just scenes of me in the dugout.
What for?
We need to practice.
We took him out.
This is actually the North Valley League Bears baseball hat. And this is these are actually a bunch of candids from the film shoot. Me and Walter Matthau. I started on a soap opera when I was about 5 years old. A soap opera called Love of Life that was on CBS. And then one day, an audition for a movie called Bad News Bears was what I was going into the city for.
Shut up, Tanner.
It was a great opportunity to do a great film that I can't believe we are still talking about almost 50 years later. I loved baseball. I was one of the few kids on the team. There may have only been about 2 or 3, if I remember correctly, who actually had ever picked up or thrown a baseball before. When the auditions and actually the callback for Bad News Bears came around, I had to turn down one of the auditions because my Little League team was actually in the playoffs that year. So I have a feeling the producers may have really liked that, and they knew that I was the real deal. You know, one of my favorite ones of these pictures are these 2 pictures right here, because these 2 pictures are pictures of my character, Toby Whitewood, at bat in the first movie, which technically never happened. I don't think I actually ever got to bat in the first movie. There were 2 other Bad News Bears movies that we did. One that was in the Houston Astrodome called Breaking Training, and then one where we went to Japan. Bad News Bears Goes to Japan. I did a movie with Lee Remick, did a movie with Henry Fonda, and some other television shows. So yeah, I was very lucky to be able to do a number of different things as I was growing up.
So how does this young Hollywood child actor become a reverend? When did you hear God's call?
And it wasn't right away. I knew that I wanted to go to college. And so you start becoming a little weird looking during your teenage years anyway, right? So I'd kind of gotten away from it, did a little bit in high school, but then I went to 4 years of college. And so it just wasn't really something that I felt that strongly about pursuing. And so after college, I had a couple great jobs that kind of prepared me for ministry. I worked in the hospitality field for a while. I studied communications in college, but it wasn't until probably my early to mid 30s that I started going to seminary and studying for the line of work that I'm in now.
What has Greens Farms Church meant to you?
Well, Greens Farms Church has been a great church to work at. Greens Farms welcomed me with open arms when my wife and I moved back to the East Coast after being back in Hollywood at a church for a number of years. Started just teaching, one Bible study a week on a Sunday morning, and eventually it turned into a full-time position. And after being in this line of work for now almost 25 years, I didn't actually get ordained until right here at Greens Farms Church. And so this is a very special place, and everybody who's in the audience tonight watching knows how special it is if you're from Greens Farm Church. And if you're not from Greens Farms Church, let me look right into the camera and say, why don't you come down to Greens Farms Church and try it out if you're from town, because it's a wonderful place, a wonderful opportunity for a community, a wonderful place for learning about the life of faith, and a wonderful place to serve others.
I think it's fascinating that in your career you've gone from bad news to good news. What is your life's biggest lesson?
One of my good friends here at Greens Farms Church, a gentleman by the name of Steve Parrish, actually gave me this quote from a baseball player. He says, "Things tend to work out best for the people who make the best of the way things work out." When we can take those difficult times and find meaning or purpose within them, those are the folks that I think are going to be able to rise above.
So cool.
Great. Thank you so much.
No one else has.
No one's got that one. Nope. There it is.
One of a kind.
That's right.
Just like you, Dave.